Hey everybody, it's Farmer Cam here, and I'm coming to you live from the well-stocked propagation house here at Garden Variety Harvest this morning. It is mid-March, and I, along with every other gardener in North America, love this time of year because the garden is ripe with hope and possibility. I always get a lot of questions about seed starting, and so today I'm going to try to do my best to help you out with my 5 seed starting tips. So tip number 1 is, when all else fails, leave it to the professionals. Starting seeds can sound like a lot of fun, but doing it well is definitely master level gardening. The consequences of growing bad starts kind of reverberate for the entire garden season, so it's important to get it right. For beginners, I recommend focusing on growing for yourself starts for the obscure varieties that your local independently owned nursery does not produce. Start the weird stuff yourself and buy the normal stuff from a farmer or a nursery. Those folks are likely well stocked and anticipating another year of record demand. So be sure to pay them a visit. Buying tomato and pepper starts is a great value because they may spend 60 days in a series of pots before it's time to plant, and that's a lot of time for things to go wrong in your basement nursery. But if you're not going to leave it to the pros and you have enough experience that you want to try your own seed starting, step number 2 is to test your seed. New seed doesn't need to be germination tested, but if you're using leftover seed from last year or the year before, it's always important to run a germination test. And it's really easy to do. All you do is take 10 seeds, roll them up in a piece of a paper towel, damp it and put it in a Ziploc bag, and put it in a warm location and check on it in the next 7 to 10 days or so. And when you open that bag, the number of seeds that have sprouted times 10 is the percentage of seeds that are going to germinate in that packet. Personally, I fail and discard anything that doesn't germinate 50% or better. Some veggies like carrots and parsley may require a little bit longer than 7 to 10 days. So for stuff like that, maybe give it 2 weeks. Step number 3 is to follow the instructions. These seed packets are not just adorned with beautiful artwork, they also are full of important information about how to get the best performance out of the seeds, right? So when I'm looking at the back of a seed packet, specifically I'm paying attention to soil depth, germination temperature, and days to germination. So I know what to expect when I plant them and I can plan accordingly. Step number 4 is use a great mix. Don't skimp on your starting mix. A good seed starting mix is very fine and light with enough nutrition to provide 4 or 5 or maybe 6 weeks of growth. I like mixes with a lot of perlite because they provide great drainage, and I never use anything with the dreaded Miracle-Gro or anything like water-holding crystals, because I don't even know what water-holding crystals actually means. Tip number 5 is keep planting. Succession planting is key for my business, and gardeners, I think, could benefit from this principle too. So nursery planting is not just a spring activity. I'm putting seeds into trays every week from late February into September to keep the rotation flowing into the garden. And I think it's a smart idea for home gardeners to commit to putting seeds in trays like once a month throughout the growing season, so that there's always something to replace those plants that are coming out of your garden as the season goes on. So there you have it. There's 5 seed starting tips from the farm this spring. If you have questions or comments, tips of your own that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments and I will do my best to respond promptly. Thanks so much. Happy spring and happy seed starting.